Hey everybody, excuse my face, I'm a little tired tonight, but I wanted to, while I was in the spirit of do a video very quick because a lot of times I get a lot of inboxes about my gastric sleeve operation. So I wanted to take a chance to kind of answer a few questions that I always get in my inbox. And again, forgive me if I'm a little tired looking because I'm a little under the weather today. But first of all, I want to answer the question of what is the gastric sleeve. A gastric sleeve surgery is a surgery in which they remove about 80% of your stomach. They cut it out, and it's a permanent surgery. My doctor, Dr. Francisco Zavalta in Mexico, Tijuana, he actually cuts it, staples it, and then he sews it back up. It's quite extreme. However, dying of being overweight is more extreme than having something to correct it. Obesity is a chronic illness. Chronic illness. A lot of times when people say, oh, you got that surgery, you took the easy way out, what they don't realize is cancer is chronic. All these diseases are chronic, and you don't tell people who have cancer, oh, you had chemotherapy to rid your body of the cancer. So therefore, this was just a tool. And I say tool, it's nothing that is going to help you if you go and still eat what you want to eat. You still have to eat right. You still have to exercise. You still have to do things to help yourself out. So the gastric sleeve is where it's a restriction surgery where they reduce your stomach. You still absorb. It's different than a gastric bypass because that's a malabsorptive procedure. I still absorb all my vitamins, minerals normally. The second thing that I'm asked all the time, why did you go to Mexico? Here's why. My insurance as a teacher, my insurance would have cost me over $10,000 to have a gastric sleeve operation. Are things safer in the United States? Yes, they are. But I had an opportunity to have the surgery for way less than that. Way less. If you want to know how much, just send me an inbox. I had a chance to have the surgery for that amount. At that point that I was at of going to Mexico, I actually took a trip by myself to Mexico to have this surgery on my spring break last year. This is the point I was at. I would rather die than to live in the body that I was in because I was unhappy with myself. And I researched my doctor, and my doctor had a telephone consult with me and a video consult actually with me where I got to see him face to face, and I had the opportunity to see the things that to ask him any questions that I had about the surgery, the procedure, and everything of that nature. He was very kind. I went to True Results here in Houston, and the lady basically told me if I was to get the gastric sleeve, then I wouldn't be able to carry a child. And I asked my doctor about that, and he was like, no, you just wait 18 months and you'll be able to carry a child just fine. And that was one of the deciding factors because I do want to be a mom one day. But I went to Mexico because the service was great. I paid one flat fee, and the only other thing I paid for was my flight to San Diego. And they picked me up, took me across the border. I had the surgery the same day. I stayed in the hospital 2 nights. The nurses were absolutely awesome. They kept my medication going. I never felt any ounce of pain at all. And after I was discharged from the hospital, I went to a 4-star hotel for 2 days. Again, no pain, nothing, no complications. My process it's been fairly easy. Some people say, oh, it's hard. Let me tell you, it's been easy in a lot of ways, but at the same time, it's been hard. And I'll say this because when you're used to eating a whole lot of food and now you can't eat the amount of food that you used to eat, it sends your mind in a shock. The second thing, too, is that after you do the diet, right before you do the diet, you're going on a liquid diet for 10 to 3 days. Try to do that. It's very hard. The second thing is, after you discharge from the hospital, you cannot have solid foods for 2 weeks. So for those of you who say it's the easy way out, you try to go 2 weeks without eating anything solid and drinking straight liquids. After that, you eat pureed foods for 2 weeks. I'm talking baby food, meat that's pureed to the very bottom, pureed foods. Then after that, soft foods. You don't get solid foods until 6 weeks, and then you still have to take it slow. So it's still not the easy way out. I've lost to date about 81 pounds. I still have about 6 or 7 more pounds to go before I get to my goal. But I lost some hair in the process. I think it looked like about half of the hair on my head. But I still have hair, thank God, and that's why they make weaves and wigs. Um, Another thing that I want to share is people always say, what about the saggy skin? Do you have saggy skin? Yeah, I do. The part of that reason why is because this one has not been very faithful in doing the exercises that I need to do. With water intake, with proper exercise, it helps your skin. And also it takes 2 years for your skin to kind of get back into, to snap back into shape. And I'm not even a year out from my surgery. So I say all that to say, yes, I do have a little saggy skin on my thighs and, other areas that I won't mention on the video. But it's manageable. And do I regret it? I have absolutely zero regrets. I would do it all again in a heartbeat. I have referred several people who have gone and had it, and I will continually refer people to go to Mexico or to go wherever they feel comfortable with having the surgery. I have a very supportive family. At first they were like, no girl, you gonna die. But once they realized that, everything was fine, they were cool with it. Once they realized how safe I really was, and my doctor was he called them himself after the surgery was over. So I had a very great experience in Tijuana, Mexico. Again, I've made some lifelong sleeve sisters. I won't call them out because some of them are not as open as I am about their surgery. I met some lifelong friends that will be with me and who understand my journey because we've been on this journey together. So again, these are just a few questions that I wanted to answer about my gastric sleeve surgery. People ask me, well, how will you be able to carry kids in the future? What about your reduced stomach intake? Eventually, now I'm able to eat more normally. I eat up to 1,200 calories a day. Sometimes if I eat the wrong things, I can eat more than that, but I try to control what I eat. So I just want to take a second to just answer some of those questions that people ask me about my VSG. VSG is another name for gastric sleeve surgery. If you have any more questions, you can feel free to inbox me or send me, inbox me. Let me know if you have questions. I don't care how personal you feel they are. I'm an open book, so I don't care about answering those questions about my surgery. So I appreciate you guys looking at this video. I hope it helped somebody. I hope it helped you understand. And for those of you who have loved ones who are contemplating having the surgery, support them. Support them. You don't know what it's like. If you don't know what it's like to be obese, if you don't know what it's like to suffer with your weight and to feel ostracized, criticized, and to have an opportunity to get a tool that can help you accomplish your goals, if you don't know what that's like, leave them alone in the process. If you're not telling them anything now while they're big, like encouraging them and not downing them, then you might need to check yourself because you need to be more support, especially if it's a situation that you have never, especially if it's a situation you had never been in. So anything you have to ask or anything of that nature, please feel free to reach out. Thanks.